In the previous video, we studied about the basic about the digital modulation technique, that is ASK, FSK, PSK. So as per the syllabus, we are not dealing with the ASK. So directly I am getting on to the BPSK. So now, what is this BPSK? So as I told it before, we are using the covariant detection. In the covariant detection, we'll be dealing with the BPSK, QPS, and FSK. Then in terms of the non-covariant detection, we'll be dealing only with this FSK and uh, the DPSK. So at present in this video, we are going to deal with the BPSK using the covariant detection. So just we'll be representing the signals then, and I'll be dealing with the probability of error, the generation and the detection. So together will consist of this video here. So at present, we are representing the binary PSK system. It is nothing but the pair of signal S1 of t and S2 of t, which is used to represent the binary symbols 1 and binary symbol 0 respectively. So S1 of t is nothing but 1, S2 of t is nothing but 0. So we represent the both the things, the S1 of t as 1, S2 of t as 0. Okay. Now, how we are representing S1 of t, as I told it in the previous video, that the basic of 2 by TB cos 2 pi fct is the pi 1 of t, and EB is the with respect to the S1 of t value there. So together we call this one 2 of EB divided by TB into cos 2 pi fct, the carrier frequency here, which is ranging from 0 to TB for symbol 1. But when we represent it for symbol 0, the same thing, square root of 2 EB by TB into cos 2 pi fct plus pi. Because in PSK, what is the condition we are looking for? That is, either symbol 1, no phase shift, whether it is symbol 0, we have a pi shift of pi. So hence I will be representing cos 2 pi fct plus 0 as directly as cos 2 pi fct for symbol 1. But when you compute for symbol 0, cos 2 pi fct plus pi for symbol 0. Now I'll simplify these things. Okay, instead of representing it as a big term, I'll write cos 2 pi fct plus pi. So it is so what it is that it will become minus square root of 2 EB by TB cos 2 pi fct from 0 to TB. So this pi cos A plus B, cos A cos B, that all the term, just you write the pi where it will come 180 degree. So 180 degree, in short I am telling how to represent those things. This is the A all S T C. So in short we represent the ASTC, all sine, tan, cos, all positive, sine positive, tan positive, cos positive. So when this is 180 degree, so this is nothing but 90 and this is 180 degree. So within this range it is plus 180 degree. So it will come maximum of this range. So it will be negative there, minus cos 2 pi fct. So this is what the things. That is for symbol 0. So we have to remember only this much. Okay, you see what we have to remember. For symbol 1, it is represented like this, cos 2 square root of 2 EB by TB into cos 2 pi fct. But when you represent it for the symbol 0, it will represent the same thing but minus square root of 2 EB by TB into cos 2 pi fct. What is the difference? Is the minus symbol because of this presence of this one. So in short, for symbol 1, cos 2 pi fct plus 0, but when you represent for cos symbol 0, cos 2 pi fct plus pi. And we represent everything in terms of a TB and EB, because TB is the bit duration of 1, symbol 1 or symbol 0. So it's a bit, not a the bit stream we are telling. We are considering one bit at a time. So that is the reason TB is the bit duration, and EB is the transmitted signal energy per bit. So per bit, how much the energy has been transmitted depending on the whether it is symbol 1 or symbol 0. Okay. Then, and usually the carrier frequency FC is chosen to NC divided by TP. What is that? NC is a fixed integer, so it is telling how many number of bits has been used there. How many number of bits has been used for fix some integer. So we fixing it. For example, bit stream by of 8. So 8 by TB, like that it will be different there. So depending, so usually when we are calculating, we calculate only for 1. So now a pair of sinusoidal waves that differ only in a relative phase shift of 180 degree defined in 1 and 2. A pair of sinusoidal waves that differ only in the relative phase shift of 180 degree is been defined. That is what I am telling. Symbol 1 cos 2 pi fct plus 0, whereas in symbol 2 cos 2 pi fct plus pi. So that is, and usually we refer those as antipodal signal. You can replace here antipodal signal. This is all about the signal. Now the signal space diagram. How to mention this signal space here? As I from the equation 1 and 2, that is for symbol 1 and 2, we can write the pi 1 of t. As I said previous only, removing square root of EB, rest all will be this only pi 1 of t. Yes or no? When I multiply pi 1 of t with the square root of EB, will give me equation 4. Square root of EB pi 1 of t, S1 of t it is, means it is symbol 1. Correct? Now, if I am multiplying this pi 1 of t with the minus square root of EB, so that time it is telling it is symbol 0 has been transmitted. So this pi 1 of t is always constant, and this is we call as a basis function, and that will be common throughout the process. It will be common throughout the process, because this will be giving at a transmitter part, and the same thing will be giving again at the receiver part. So this is we use as a synchronized local reference. This is we use it as a synchronized local reference, and the same thing we represent here. So this is symbol 1 multiplied with the basis function. This is symbol 2 minus of square root of EB into pi 1 of t. So this I represent the 3 as the basis function, 4 and 5 as the same thing, equation 1 and 2 in terms of the basic function. So I can represent it easily. And why I am generalize this thing, because when to solve a block diagram, it will be easy for me to get used as a coherent, and it to be used as a synchronous local reference there. Now we'll see in there, you can see whatever I have described there, you can represent it here. Okay, and one more thing, that is it is one dimensional, so it will be n is equals to 1, and with the signal that is having a 2 message point, that is M2, because one is message point 1, that is square root of EB, another as the square root of minus square root of EB, that is the for symbol 0. Okay, but why do I have considered this n is equals to 1, m is equals to 2? That I will explain it here. See, the S1 1 case, next S1 2, next S2 1, next one S2 2. Okay, S11, S12, this is what the thing. So what I am told that is a S11 thing. Okay, so remember one thing, when this is multiplied with the similar, what will be going to happen? Okay, so as mentioned there, you can see it here that n is equals to 1. I am considering only for n is equals to 1 here. Okay, so how it is there? S M N. So this is representing 1. This is representing 1. So this is what? Nothing but a n. Okay, but this is what n is equals to 2, but I have mentioned it only for n is equals to 1. The number of dimension is 1, only one dimensional. So this I cannot consider. This will get cancelled because n is equals to I have not considered in any case. So this n is 1 and m is 1 and 2, message point 1 and message point 2. So this is message point 1 is EB. It is representing nothing but EB. Here this is message point 1 and this is message point 2. So this is how we represent this S11, S21. So remember this is the case there. Okay. So that is from 0 to TB S1 of t into pi 1 of t into dt. What I will get when I integrate all this and we represent it in this, we get a square root of EB. That is what I told. This is as a local reference. Here also local reference. The square root of EB minus square root of EB. This is what for symbol 0 and this is for symbol 1. So this is what we are getting and that is what we represented here, and it is a decision boundary. If it is greater than 0, that is message point 1. If it is less than 0, message point 2. So that is greater than 0 here. Greater than 0, message point 1, not 0. You can observe it here that message point 1 how it is starting. It is starting from here 1 high. Okay, and how it is represented in the 0, because it is a minus, so aptitude will be in the reverse, that is a phase shift of 180 degree. So phase shift of 180 degree means here to here 90, 90 plus 90, 180 degree. So that is what from here to here 90 and here to here 90 degree phase shift. Okay, how it is from here to here 90, 0 to 90, how we say 0 to 90 and 90 to 180. So it's from here to here. So this is like that. From here we are representing it here. So automatically it is starting from here. So it is exactly 180 degree phase shift. So this is what symbol 0 here. We can see it. It is starting from here. That's the minus 1. This is how we represent. Okay. Next, the block diagram there. So now, from what we have derived it from equation 3, 4 and 5. From the equation 3 the basis function, the equation 4 as the symbol 1 S1 of t, and equation 5 as for the symbol 0. So what is happening here, we can see it here. The binary data sequence will be given, that will be 1 by 1, and it is passed on to the polar non-return to 0 for level encoder, then non to 0. So depending on this thing, polar NRZ we know that is a non-returning to 0, whether it should be either the plus EB, plus square root of EB or minus square root of EB. It should show any of those values. It will not return to 0. Okay, so either it should be in the plus EB or minus EB. So it will not get any values of 0. It will not return to 0 anywhere. So now considering either bit 1 has been passed. So it will take, when I passed it here, it will take the value of square root of EB. Okay, it will not return to 0. Just if symbol 1, it will be passed on here. Then, and it will go to the next stage and it will get multiplied with the pi 1 of t, that we call it as a basis function, what I explained in the previous slides there. So that time, now it is what? Square root of the 2EB. It will get multiplied and passed on, and that is what we transmitting as the transmitted signal, PSK signal S of t. This is for symbol 1. Now I'll consider it for symbol 0. Now symbol 0 here, that time when you come to here, it will become minus square root of EB. Okay, then it is passed on to here in the product modulator, where it will be getting multiplied by minus square root of EB. The same thing, EB, just it will multiply with the minus thing, and this will be passed on. Remember one thing, when you are doing this thing, either bit by bit transmission, it cannot do all the thing parallelly here. So when it is 1, for example 1 0 1 1, so this is 1 bit transmission of TB. Similarly, another, it will do all this process and then go for this one. Next again like that. After this process, this will carry out. After this is passed on, next this will be carried out. So this is how we do each one of the things, and that is the role of a polar NRZ encoder. So it coming the whatever the bit, it will be there 1 or 0. It will be the amplitude level has been raised to plus EB, plus square root of EB or minus square root of EB respectively. Then the product modulator just multiply with the basis function and get into the transmission part. Now when it is passed on S of t, it will get added with the noise there. It has what we have passed it from the transmitter S of t, but when you are getting it a receiver, X of t it is there. So that is what S of t plus W of t, that is the noise has been added to it. S of t plus W of t, that will be concluding me the X of t. So first thing what is there, the pi 1 of t, remember what we have multiplied in the product modulator, that again has been multiplied here and that get cancelled. That is the example for synchronized that local reference, that will multiply and pi 1 of t and pi 1 of t get cancelled, and what is remaining is square root of EB or minus square root of EB depending on the symbol 1 or 0 has been transmitted, that is passed on here 0 to TB. That is the function of the correlator. What is the function of the correlator now here? To multiply with the basis function, cancel off the what we have multiplied in the transmitter part, cancel it off, only this is left, then has to transmit the thing on the only the bit what is there 0 to TB, it has to give me in the term of x1 is equals to some value, whether it is 1 or 0, it will give me whether it is a positive or negative depending on the case, whether it is 1 or 0. That is the function of the correlator, and it has been done with the help of a one bit by bit process. Next, it has passed on to the decision device where a threshold has been kept. What is that threshold level? If it is x1, what is the output is greater than 0, then it is chosen as a 1. If x1 less than 0, then it is chosen as 0. So this 0 has the threshold level greater than 1, greater than 0 or less than 0. Greater than 0, it will give it as 1, less than 0, it will give it as 0. So this is how the decision has been made by the decision device. That is the function of this thing. So till here we studied all about the what is all about the PSK and all, and how the signal has been transmitted and how it has been received and how the generation and detection has been done. But if an error occurs, then how to remove it? Okay, that we'll look into from here after. This we call it as the probability of error. So now we are calculating the probability of making an error, the decision associated with the symbol 1. Now I am considering only symbol 1. That is S1 of t, where it is transmitted 0 to infinity, because symbol 1 is related to the plus 1, the message point 1 from 0 to plus infinity. So that is the reason we have to represent 0 to plus infinity. So first, what I am expecting as the receiver, as I said when I am solving the block diagram, x of t is equals to S of t plus W of t. W of t is nothing but Gaussian noise there. So now S of t is equals to plus square root of EB into pi 1 of t for symbol 1 is equals to minus square root of EB into pi 1 of t for symbol 0. This is what occurred, the same bit duration 0 to TB, that's a constant there. Also we can write this one as x of t, thus this one x of t is equals to S1 of t plus W of t, or also we can write S1 of t is for symbol 1, that is here, S1 of t, the square root of EB plus W of t for symbol 1, and S2 of t plus W of t is equals to minus EB square minus square root of EB plus W of t, that is for symbol 0. This is how we represent the for BPSK. I can represent in the S of t here, and also I represent the X of t if it is a bit symbol 1 is transmitted and if a symbol 0 has been transmitted. This is step 1. Now considering for step 2. For white Gaussian noise, the mean and the variance are 0 and n naught by 2 respectively. Okay, the mean and variance are 0 and n naught by 2 respectively. Assuming symbol 1 has been transmitted, the mean of the received signal, that is, now how I represent this, mu is equal to expectation of x1, that is I am considering only symbol 1, right? That is equals to expectation of S1 plus expectation of the white Gaussian noise. So what is that? We remember always that S1 is a constant. Expectation of S1 is what? Square root of EB, right? That is constant. Mean is all about constant value. But what about white Gaussian noise? It will never be constant. It will be variable always, right? That is the reason I have told that it is 0, and that has been mentioned here. You can see here white Gaussian noise always it is 0 because it is not constant, it is variable always. That is the reason I consider this as 0 directly. Next, similarly, when we go for variance, sigma square is equals to the variance of x1, that is what, again S1, variance of S1 plus variance of omega or WCH, the white Gaussian noise. But variance of S1 is not variable, it is constant, right, as we have mentioned it. So this will be 0. This will be 0, and value for variance for SH is n naught by 2. So this is the reason I have told it that variance of S1 is 0 always. It's because it's a constant value. Square root of EB will be constant, so what is the value of S1? So this is the reason I have substituted the values for n naught by 2. This is again given it here. N naught by 2. This is be done. Step 1, signal representation. Step 2, the what is the mean and the variance value has been calculated. Now step 3. Okay, step 3 is all about the conditional probability density function of a random variable x1, given that symbol 1 is transmitted, is defined by f of x1, some random variable x1 of by 1, that is with respect to the symbol 1, is equals to 1 by 2 pi sigma square into exponential of the whole bracket of minus of x1 minus mu the whole square divided by 2 sigma square. This is what the random function, and this we usually had discussed it in the model 3 of a principle of communication system. The same thing, just we need to substitute it here, and also the probability is there. So now what is sigma square? N naught by 2, that is what I am representing here and here, you can see it here. Now mu square root of EB. Okay, this is what the thing. Now what will happen here? This and this get cancelled, and here and here get cancelled. So what is the remaining? You can observe it here. 1 by pi n naught into exponential of minus of x1 minus square root of EB the square divided by n naught. Okay, so I am trying to simplify those terms. So what I will do, I'll make it a square root of n naught here, and make it a square root of n naught here, and make it a whole square here, x1 minus square root of EB divided by square root of n naught, the whole square. The same thing, that is the what step what I am divided here. Okay, this is how we done. Why? You can see, I'll show it why I am making it like this way. Okay, this is what the symbol. Next, in the step 4, the conditional probability of the receiver deciding in favor of symbol 0 given that symbol 1 was transmitted. So symbol 1 was transmitted, but it was showing that symbol 0. So that's the probability of error of receiving signal symbol 1, but it is favoring symbol 0. That is what the condition. So probability of error of 1 is equals to minus infinity to 0. So it is showing in the region of 0 to infinity, right? So from minus infinity to 0, because symbol 0 comes in that range. So fx of 1, x1 divided by 1 into dx1. So what is the previous, what we got from the step 3, that I am representing here. And one more thing, that is multiply and dividing by 2. So you can see here 2 is 1 by 2 here. So 2 when I take here, it should be 2, but I have taken within this bracket here. You can observe here, this is the bracket I have taken here. So I need to make it equal square root of 2, because when I take it outside, it will be square root and square get cancelled 2, and it if we take out 2 by 2, again it will get cancelled. So that is the reason square root of 2 into x1 minus square root of EB divided by n naught the whole square. So now I'll consider this as y, generalize these terms. Okay, so what will become square root of 2 divided by n naught into x1 minus square root of EB is equals to y. When I differentiate dy, square root of 2 divided by n naught, the whole square root of 2 divided by n naught into dx1 minus 0, because this is a constant. So at that time it will be dy is equals to dx1 into square root of 2 by n naught. But what I need, I want to represent, as I made it y, I want it in terms of y. So that is the reason. So I'll make it, I want in terms of dy. So dx1 is equals to, this one dx1 is equals to square root of n naught divided by 2 into dy. dx1 is equals to dy into square root of n naught by 2. So what is this? If x1 is equals to minus infinity, y is equals to y infinity. That is what we do it in the previous step. If x1 is equals to 0 there, if I substitute there, x1 is equals to 0, so y is equals to minus square root of 2 EB by n naught. So this is what the thing. I am changing the limit here. Minus infinity, the minus infinity it is there. But when I represent 0 there, so you can see it here, when I represent 0 here, what will happen? x1 0, y, what it will become? Square root of 2EB divided by n naught. Because of presence of minus here, it will represent square root of EB by 2 EB by n naught. So that is represented here. So this is what in terms of x1. So what is that? 1 pi n naught, the limit has been changed in terms of y, and represented dx1 in terms of dy into n naught by 2, and the same thing. So this is nothing but I can represent it directly as y here. Okay, so what will happen here? This 2 pi n naught and n naught get cancelled here. So 1 by square root by 2 pi, the it is having a limit of minus infinity to square root of minus 2 EB by n naught into E into minus, so I will substitute it directly here, y square divided by 2. So this you can see it here. Okay, P of 1 is equals to 1 by 2 pi square root of 2 pi into minus of infinity to minus square root of 2 EB by n naught. E is equals to minus y the whole square divided by 2, the dy. So that is what we have represented in the lower limit. That is what I have taken here. This is the limit what I have taken. So that is nothing but probability of error is equals to q into square root of 2 EB by n naught. Or even you can represent in terms of complementary error function, that is I'll make it like here, that is here. 2 what is that? I make it 1 half error complementary error function of square root of EB by N naught. So similarly for P of 0, the conditional probability of the receiver decided in favor of symbol 1, given that symbol 0 is transmitted is given by P of 0 is equals to 1 by 2 error function square root of EB by N. That is what I am telling. You find it for symbol 1, that will be same for symbol 0. Find it for symbol 1 and find it for the same, do it for symbol 0, because it's a probability of same thing, right? Either it should be 1 or 0, so 50% or 0.5 percentage of this. But you need to remember how this has been occurred. This is nothing but the limit what we have taken, minus infinity to square root of 2 EB by N naught, right? That limit, and should be in the form of e raised to minus y square divided by 2. If it is in general term, that I can take that limit as the probability of error here. Now in the step 5, that is the same thing what I told. The probability either 1 or 0. So 50% of 1, that is what I am given it here like this way, and here. And probability of error is same what I have derived it here. Okay. So when I multiplied here, I am getting the probable error for half error complementary error function of square root of EB divided by N naught. This is what we find it for BPSK, binary phase shift key. So this is what we can find, or we can form in the term of the average probability of symbol error or equivalent BER for binary PSK using covariant detection, assuming equiprobable symbols given by PEQ by 2 EB by N naught. Okay, the same thing, because since it is a, for both the case it will be same. Okay, for example, this is once we find it for 0, we can do it for 1. Once we find for 1, we can use it for 0. So this will never change it. This is how we need to do. So what we had done here in the BPSK is the first we found it the symbols there, symbol 1, symbol 2. We differentiated the symbol 1 value and symbol 0 value, and then we are differentiated the basis function. Then we, with the help of that basis function and the symbol, how the process has been carried out, how it is getting multiplied, and we derived the block diagram there. Then using that block diagram for the transmitter, we did it for receiver also, and we differentiated the what we mean by the covariant detection, the symbol of the local reference, synchronized local reference, what we use it for transmitter and receiver, we differentiated that. Then we need to find the error, because if it is showing the symbol 1 in the symbol 0 region, of its symbol 0 and symbol 1, what are the steps? So we are trying to find the probability of the error for this case. That is what we have done with the step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4 and step 5. Okay, so this is how we do it there. Thank you.